Hello everyone. Today I will be interviewing chit chatting with Ms. Shreya Aggarwal. She is a software engineer at Amazon and a formal intern at American Express and Amazon. Before listening to her SAFARNAMA, let's take a quick glance at her highlights of his suffer. She basically graduated from Indian Institute of Information Technology UNA in the year 2022 with bachelor's in computer science engineering and hails from Bareilly, Uttar Pradesh. Hello ma'am, how are you doing?
Hey, hi Shubhi, I'm good. How are you? And really thanks for having me here. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I'm also good. So, my name is Shubhi and I am your junior in final year. And today I will be asking you a few questions regarding your journey in the college and uh, your achievements. Before I shoot you with questions regarding your internships, what advice would you like to give your juniors regarding the mindset that we should adopt, as there are several instances where we feel where we underestimate ourselves, or we suffer with low self-confidence and do not even dare to take the first step towards learning and doing new things?
Okay, so I would like to share what I adapted while I was preparing both internship and placement. Like to train your mind to be calm and chill. I would say that I was a slow learner as well. मेरे को कोडिंग वगैरह करने में बहुत टाइम लगा. I was just learning. और it usually happens कि तुम कोई क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हो, it won't solve in a one go और आप बहुत लंबा टाइम दे रहे हो and then you just like, okay, I'm not good enough. So आप just tend to quit. So you should not do that. Train your mind to be calm, chill and have patience. It will happen. Everyone has his own journey. It will be slow, fast, it depends. Yeah. And actually this really helped me in my time. Yeah.
Okay. So you are trying to say that everyone has their own pace. Just follow
exactly
your pace and do not compare your chapter 1 with someone else chapter 20.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Thank you. So could you please enlighten us on what the industrial internships are, as you hold an experience doing internships at two big MNCs, American Express and Amazon?
Okay. Industrial internship, basically it depends. Industrial internship also, there were many roles: software engineers, machine learning, data scientists, and many things. I was a part of software developer. I am a part of software developer type, so I'm gonna tell you about that. So there are two types: industrial and research. Industrial, basically, you tend to develop softwares. There are existing softwares. You tend to maintain the health of that software or adding new features to software. It's not always like that तुम कुछ नया build कर रहे हो, कुछ नई service build कर रहे हो. It's not always that. You're maintaining the current services as well. So that is a part of industrial internship. For the research internship, of course, there is MTech, that you go to the MTech and you research about various fields. It can be anything. The domain is very high in research internship. You write research papers, like all the research papers, and there are many various fields. Yeah.
Okay. What are the best resources for internship opportunities that you used at your time for preparing for internships, and what of these resources helped you while you were interviewing with companies?
Okay. I would say I was blessed with great seniors in my time, as well as with great friends. So they tend to help me a lot. I wasn't aware about anything. मुझे नहीं पता था कुछ भी, how to start, where to start. So one of the senior guided me to start doing HackerUt. Not do the contest on HackerUt. HackerUt has the various, specific domains. Like if you are going to with data structures, then they have the specific section for arrays and everything. So I started with that. It gave me a little insight. And then I try to, just go through the YouTube random tutorials if I'm stuck in some topic. Suppose if I want to solve some greedy type problems, or if I want to learn any specific topic, I just go to the random YouTube. It doesn't matter how you do it. What matters is consistency. Like if you are solving one problem, try to solve one problem daily. If you are doing development, try to learn more about the language you are using. Try to be more aware about how many features are there. So it doesn't matter what roadmap you take, just your consistency. So what I did, I start from HackerUt. I went to solve problems in code forces, and then I used to do long challenges in CodeChef. the wrong generation question really helped me because it I would say enhances my thinking ability while solving the problems.
Okay, I know that interviewers also ask some of the interviews are totally based upon like the core subjects. So, what resources did you use for preparing for your core subjects?
Core subject, okay, I would say in two phases, pre-COVID and after COVID.
Okay.
Pre-COVID, everything was covered. I mean, I would say because since we used to study for exams, so most of the topics will get covered. I'm talking about fundamentals. Okay, they get covered in the college itself for me. I don't have to prepare anything specific, anything else specific. Then after COVID, we lost touch from the studies. So then I had to, I just had to go through the articles as much as possible, especially for computer networks. It was the most difficult topic for me. So I have to go through all the articles that are there. I used to actually follow LinkedIn a lot. So there were many resources available that these are the particular topics. Like इसी से ही पूछा जाएगा. You have to go through them. So I used to go through the documents and I used to take one topic at a time and went through Geeks for Geeks articles and any random article, some YouTube videos to get a deep insight. मेरा एक गोल था कि बहुत ज़्यादा डीप में नहीं जाऊँगी because since we have not practical experience of it, तो बहुत ज़्यादा डेप्थ नॉलेज आ ही नहीं सकती. I should be aware that ठीक है, this topic means this like just ऊपर से होता है ना, ऊपर से पढ़ लेना, हाई लेवल व्यू ऑफ एवरीथिंग. दैट वाज माय अप्रोच एंड इट हेल्प मी बिकॉज अगर इंटरव्यू आपसे डेप्थ में पूछ भी रहा है देन यू कैन से कि मैंने इसको वर्क नहीं किया, आई डोंट नो द डेप्थ नॉलेज बट आई हैव लर्न अबाउट दिस मच एंड या सो इट्स नॉट नीदर नेगेटिव और नॉट पॉजिटिव इन दैट केस.
Okay, so what you're trying to say to our viewers is that you should have a high level approach for at least all the topics for that are listed in the syllabus for the core subjects.
Yeah, exactly.
And if interviewer goes well in deep, then you can ask them that I haven't researched so deep about this topic, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like if something interests you, like for me, I think there was some few topics that were really interesting for me. So eventually it was my internship that I tend to deep dive into it a lot to learn more about it. So it was my thing to have a depth knowledge on some topics, which would be a positive for me. And then it was my primary goal to just have a high level view.
Okay. Also, how does grabbing an internship at such a prestige companies that you had done like Amazon and American Express become helpful in building your career further?
Of course, I mean it's an obvious question. The learning graph is really great here. In any, I would say even if it's a startup or it's a renowned company, the learning graph is always great. What I felt was actually I was not into ki work-life balance hai ki nahi. It was just that whatever the work I am given, it's useful. I am able to learn daily. I'm able to have my days productive. I'm able to develop my communication skills because like while you were interning or anything, the major responsibility is that how responsible you are, how much responsibility you take, how much ownership you take, how much interactive you are, and the work comes secondary, I would say. Like if you are interactive, communication, and then even you are providing even you are just doing the task that you were given, it's enough. The more positive point is you are obviously working over a top, something has asked you to do a certain task and then you even did it up to the mark. That's a positive point. But communication interaction is one of the key points that I learned from both of my internships and has been helping me till now.
Okay. There is a very common doubt that everyone has is like for applying to such a big renowned companies, do we need any prerequisites, conditions? Also, what topic we should lay more emphasis if someone wants to crack such a big MNC?
Okay, there are two things. For example, if you're saying MNC, it can be a company that requires development, whose internship nowadays is totally based on development, and there are companies whose internship nowadays is totally based on DSA, and they ask with a very minimal topics in the development because they know कि हम company specific काम करेंगे तो we'll learn that. So if I talk about the first scenario, when they are asking for development, then the prerequisite is, I'm not saying कि I'm just talking about an average student, how an average student can get, what's the procedure for that, for him. So if he would have even a minimal development knowledge. Like, for example, if any language he does not know in depth, but he has worked upon it, he has few projects, not high level projects. I would say in average projects, it would work. It would work. Like, of course, if you have, if you are more than experienced in it, it's a very plus point. I'm not talking about development. I'm talking about development in and interning and placement in startups. Okay. That's good. Yeah. So if you can have an average skills, it will work. It was in case of me. I have average development skills and average coding skills. I was not anywhere up to the mark. I have my batchmates who were really great. Some were great in development. Some were great in DS and they are still in Amazon, and I'm also in Amazon. So that's what I'm trying to say. That just have the minimum skills. Do not quit. People in my classmates have also tried to quit that. Nahi ho raha humse. Do not have that attitude at all. It will happen for everyone. Just have the basic skills. Do not to have skills ki mujhe internship chahiye. Like, you are going to become a software developer. You need to have skills. If you are like, it's a basic necessity. So just go with the basic necessity and then you will improve eventually.
एक गंदा फेज आता है जिसमें सेल्फ डाउट होता है, बट व्हाट यू आर सेइंग इज दैट वी शुड नॉट क्विट ओवर दैट फेज.
हाँ, exactly.
बी परसिस्टेंट एंड ट्राई टू वर्क.
तो व्हाट हैपेंस विद मी, मेरा बहुत लंबे टाइम तक देयर वाज नो इंटर्नशिप एंड मेरे फ्रेंड्स के लग रहे हैं 1 इंटर्न 2 इंटर्न. नाउ आई डिडंट हैड एनी. दैट वाज लाइक नो प्रॉब्लम.
एक सेल्फ डाउट वाला फेज आता है.
हाँ, सबका आता है. मेरा भी आया था. But when I didn't quit, I used to be so. It was really I was at the low phase of my life. But it happened. One opportunity came. I performed well in it. I solved the questions. It just happened. I gained the interview rounds. I would not say that I was like really awesome. It went, some went good, some went average, and I got the intern.
Okay. We came to know that you were the part of design and deco, fine arts, CSEC, and app team for the college for some time. Yeah. So how being the part of such a college club and society enhanced you, and how you so well managed the roles with your ongoing academics?
Okay. So for academics, I used to attend classes as much as I can. Not that much. I don't know if I have. It was a normal average attention. It was nothing great, but it was a fact that before 10 days before exams, we would leave everything. We won't do touch coding. We won't touch development. We will just study for the exam, and that's how we got good grades on academic. That was the only approach we had, me and my friends. There was nothing else. We do not used to study daily. It was not possible. And the rest of the days, we used to focus on, of course, having fun. The major priority, having fun and be happy. The second priority was, of course, while you're having fun, why not just learn something that would help you in career? So that's why I joined these clubs. Like, they are the mixture of fun and developing your skills. So that's why it's really great to join societies. It always also makes you more interactive. It's a great networking opportunity. So that was my approach. How did I manage? As I told, we used to work 10 days before the exam, and the rest of the days were for clubs. Even as I told, I was in a CSEC, that means Computer Science Engineering community. The community used to promote competitive programming in the college. We used to have programming meets for juniors. So you see, you are in a community, you're interacting, building network, improving your communication, as well as you are getting some insight from seniors on the competitive programming, and then you are also trying to teach juniors, and in the whole process you are even progressing in your own way. So that's how it helps you. So that's why it was my first priority to at least have 2 or 3 clubs, and then also balance academic with it. Same, I go with the fine arts and design deco. I used to paint a lot. मुझे बहुत पसंद था painting and all. So I was like, नहीं, ये तो join करना ही है. So we used to paint walls in the college. It was really fun. Yeah.
So these clubs basically help you for the overall development of your technical skills, your soft skills, your personality development, your communication skills, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So for the juniors also, you would suggest to engage in a club. It is also a way to engage with your seniors or to interact with the juniors, work as a community.
Right.
And how would you describe the general procedure of application to the internships? You have done internships at 2 companies, so could you shed a light upon what their process looked like?
Okay, it's a standard process that I think it happens till date. Initially, there were, of course, the opening. So there were some openings that can be applied with referrals, some that cannot be applied with referrals. Whatever it is, it was my first task to just approach people on LinkedIn and ask for referrals. I used to text at least 10 people, at minimum 10 people, to just give me the referral. I used to share my resume. If I get a referral, well enough. If I get a referral in 2 or 3 days, well enough. If I don't, I just tend to apply without referral, because we cannot delay. If there is no opening, it can get closed. Okay, and it's always I will always try to think that maybe it's a first come first serve basis. So I just tend to apply, not waiting too much time. The next thing is, how is your resume? Like, do you have the skills that is being required by the company? Does it follow that, for example, if a company is saying that it should be a Java developer, it should be C++, then do I have those skills? Even if I have one of them, I just tend to mention in my resume. I tend to have projects, whatever projects in there. I mean, the resume should be up to date, whatever you have done. And I just want to make sure that if you have the open source and experience, it's a great plus, which happened in my case. So that's my second step, to have the resume build and then to apply it. And then after, if the resume got shortlist, you are given the interview, not the interview round, the technical round. Usme maybe it depends ki initially it's an MCQ round, and then they went to coding questions. It depends from company to company. So yeah, even in MX round, I did not solve all the question. It was 3 questions and I think I solved 2, and still I got the interview round. So it depends totally. There's a standard technical round, and then there are 2 to 3 or maybe 4 interview rounds. 2 technical, 1 HR, 3 technicals, 1 HR.
Okay. You coined a term referral. Could you please tell our audience what referral is and how this referral system works?
So referral is, suppose if you are applying to a company A, you ask for the employees of that company A to actually refer me for that position. They would be like, I would say, as a sign that they would be the sign of guarantee that yes, the candidate is or would be more eligible to for this role. So it gives you a bigger plus. How it works is generally that if I am approaching someone, suppose if I am approaching Shubhi for your referral and you are giving me a referral, what you will do is you will open your portal, the internal portal, you will search for the job ID, will share my resume in that, and then I will get a mail to yes, that person has referred you, now apply to the job. So it gives you 1 plus point that the internal employee has been referred you for this job. So that you tend to stand out a little bit.
Okay. Also, while I was talking to you, you have mentioned that our resume should be good enough. So could you please share some tips that can make our resume stand out while applying and increases our chances of being shortlisted, apart from obviously having the referrals?
Yeah. One thing I want to point out that different sections, I would start with education. Education is the minimum. Just write whatever you're doing, like not to write high school and other institution, just the college. Now comes to experience. So when you are applying for the first time, obviously you do not have any experience. You just haven't done anything. You haven't been in any organization. So my first approach was to at least do open source or have a part in a hackathon or a part of any small community. They are like GitHub ki MLH fellowship hoti hai, like something like that. That it's not a very big experience, but it would stand out if you are trying to apply for the first time. So in my point, it was open source. Even if you have randomly made a pull request and the pull request got merged in any any repo, I mean any standard repo, just write it down in the experience. It will stand out. So have 1 point in experience, have minimum 2 projects, average and medium, that will stand out. Have skills. I'm not saying that you have so many languages. Just be true to your resume. If you know only 2 languages, write it down that yes, I know only 2 languages. Yeah. And of course, some extracurricular activities. For example, if you're a part of CSEC and nabh team, and that In my case, I was in the CSEC and I have, participated in many programming meets. That was also a plus point because during interview, they ask you that, okay, that you have mentioned that you perform, like that you were engaged in programming meets, how they helped you, and like they overall give you a nice impression that yes, he was very active, whether he or she was very interactive and active in his college days.
Okay, okay. Could you let our viewers know what is an open source, and what are the different ways in which someone can contribute to open source, and which organization did you
Okay.
contribute?
I was a part of Outreachy. I did not. So it's like a Outreachy open source program for girls. I mean, universal gender minus boys. Sorry, sorry, boys. I was a part of that. But there are many. Of course, you have heard about GSOC, RGSOC. There were many programs in which you can participate. Even if you did not get selected, your contribution count. That yes, I have contributed to the political, like I have contributed to some feature or enhance some feature in the current repository. So what open source is, there are, I would say, everyone has heard about GitHub. I would take an example of GitHub. So there are many projects uploaded on GitHubs in which you can contribute as well. They are open for everyone for contribution. Suppose if there is a minimal website and you think that, okay, suppose the loading is very slow and I can improve it. So just add that feature, make a pull request, and if it get merged, fair enough. So it's like contributing to an existing, I would say, existing
Code base.
Code base. Actually, so what happens is while we are making our personal projects, we do not have any industrial experience. So it is a sort of a real life experience that you get, that yes, it's a live project and I'm contributing to it. So that's how open source helps you to contribute to open live projects in whichever way you can.
So contributing to open source can somewhat give you a hint of what actually working in an industry could
Yeah, exactly. Very well put. Yeah.
be. Okay. And could you finally describe your learning and experience while interning at such a big reputed company and having experience of multiple companies?
Okay. The experience depends from company to company. Every company has its own culture, has its own way of working things. So I learned a lot of things from Amex. I learned a lot of things from Amazon. The two were entirely different experience. What else I say? I've already mentioned that, of course, my communication got increased. I gained confidence because if you're interacting with so many employees, you are taking ownership of what you are doing. You tend to gain confidence because you know that, okay, you are contributing something that is valuable. So it was a great learning curve. It was exponential learning curve. I learned great in 2 months. In the Amex internship, I learned a lot in 6-month internship, and I'm still learning. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot done with the formal questions. Let us enlighten our atmosphere a little bit. And I got to know some fun facts about you in the college. So I would be asking you a generic question about that. So मुझे कुछ खुफिया सूत्रों से पता चला था कि आपने कॉलेज लाइफ में काफी सारी ट्रिप्स करी हैं. तो कैसा रहा आपका ट्रिप का एक्सपीरियंस और कोई फन स्टोरी उसकी रिलेटेड जो आप शेयर करना चाहोगे?
काफी सारी तो नहीं थी. कोविड हो गया. It cannot be a lot too much. I mean, I would have done a lot more trips because, of course, when you're college in Himachal Pradesh, you are bound to have trips. You are pressurized to go on trips. So, I would say my first trip was Manali. It was a really great trip. I enjoyed it a lot. I think it was a 3-day trip, 3-day 4-night trip. And what else? Yeah. So the temperature there was -2, -3 degrees Celsius, and in that temperature we went to watch I think the movie was Robot 2.0. I don't even remember now. And we didn't like the movie at all. It was a full comedy for us. Anyway, so yeah, and then of course we go to the snow points and we played with snow and we clicked some beautiful pictures. It was a beautiful trip. And then I went to, I think in the next semester I went to McLeodganj. We had a great trip as well. It was a very short trip. Actually, we went to IIT Kanpur. Many of your friends went to IIT Kanpur for some contest. We did not win, of course, but I mean, did not even it was not up to the mark that we did. But anyway, we just went there to have fun. It was our most fun trip. I know it's IIT Kanpur, not a very. I mean, it's a Kanpur and UP, but still it was a fun. It was a great fun. I mean, we used to roam around in college whole night, just talk, eat, whatever. It was there was an open theater as well. We just tend to sit there. It was really fun. And then even after COVID, I went to one trip to Shimla and Kufri. We went for go-karting. It was a fun trip, yeah.
Okay. Also, another thing I got to know about you is that you were called Gutli, if I pronounce it right, in the college. So what's the story behind it?
It's really embarrassing. Okay. So my batchmate used to call me Gutli because the way I look. Because I was short-heighted, 5'2", thin, short-heighted. ऐसा तो छोटी सी एक बच्ची है टाइप. So call me Gutli. स्टार्टिंग में तो बहुत अफेक्ट करता था, क्या बोल रहे हो ये सब क्या है. But then it's like fine, बोल दो जो बोलना है. Yeah. But I think my height was 5'2". It was normal. It's the average height, but anyway, whatever. They even still call me Gutli. When we met in convocation, everyone was like Gutli idhar aa, Gutli udhar.
Okay. So now that we have come to the end of this amazing interview, I would like you to say a few words of wisdom for our viewers, or any sort of motive or knowledge that we would love to share with our viewers.
Okay. The one thing I have learned so far, it will eventually be okay. If you're in the least, if you say that nahi ho raha kuch, it will happen. Again, you are not going to quit. Of course, I mean, नहीं कर सकते quit. तुम कोई भी profession लोगे, if you are wanted to become any profession, dancer, singer, anything, if you want to go higher studies, everything requires efforts. कुछ भी एक चीज में नहीं आता, so just don't quit. It will eventually happen. It will eventually going to happen sooner or later.
Yeah. So thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out your precious time for this interview. And I, on the behalf of the entire team at EPMOC, wish you the best of the efforts for your future, and that you keep soaring newer heights of success. It was so much pleasure talking with you, and I have a great time recording this video with you. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. It was really nice. It was really nice sharing my learnings with you all, and I hope you make maybe good out of all of it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.